What's happening, man? T-Time here, dog, with another video. Want to talk about LeBron lashing out at Stephen A. Smith. My boy Stephen A. Smith, he came on First Take and, like, I guess explained what happened, what happened in that clip we seen. Well, I can tell you, Brian, he ain't look too happy. Brian didn't look too happy. Then I guess Stephen A. said it was more about his son than anything. He said it wasn't a basketball player, it was a father. But the thing is, I just think that's Brian had enough. Like, cause Stephen A. been talking for a while, and I ain't just talking this year. I'm just talking, and I ain't talking about that topic. I'm just talking about it in general. Stephen A. been like running his mouth a lot about Brian. He ain't the goat and all that. And Brian just, he just sitting back. But cause I was about to say not too long ago, didn't Brian just give him dap on national television? Remember he gave him all dap on that national television not too long ago. It was all on TV, sitting there, and then he gave him dap and shit. So, like, I don't think so I just think Brown was let it go for a little bit, and then that I guess with his son, he probably felt like shit, nigga. Now you going too far. You can talk shit about me, but then you can't talk shit about my son and everything like that. And I think Brown just had enough of it. Brown was like, no, I'm not had enough. And like, Brown already talked about the media. You've been seeing hints. I made a video in the past about him, about the media, about them talking about who on the face of the league, and no one wants to be the face of the league because you're always bashing players. And I just think Brian had enough of it. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? They number two in the West. They got Luca. They relevant now. And I think Brian just started like, you know what, man? I'm getting tired of this shit. I'm getting tired of y'all. These dudes is old. The old timers they call them. The old timers in the media still trying to push out these narratives like they did back then before social media. See, back then people don't understand. Before social media has emerged and it took over everything. You know what I'm saying? As far as how shit is put out there, you only seen you only seen what they said, what they put out, and what they wanted us to see. That's what they did. Like, so, Sports Center, ESPN, what I'm saying, the newspapers, all that, just in general, the journalists and stuff. You only seen what they put out. It was never how it is now, where everybody can put out whatever they want and they could put out what you want to see and stuff like that. So I feel like that's the difference, in my opinion, in today's social media and back then. Back then you had to go with like just imagine like all the shit they said about AI, like all the things they did to AI, man. Back in those times where AI didn't have no voice, he didn't have no voice. AI tried to come on to their platform. Still, you got the ESPN, all that and everything, and try to plead his case. But I mean, back in those days, you like I said, they were first yours, and they had the bigger platform. You know what I'm saying? And they talking about it all the time on ESPN. It's all you see is Allen Iverson this, Allen Iverson that, and that couldn't happen right now. Like that, I mean, you can do it, but now Allen Iverson, he can say something. Now Allen Iverson can go on podcast, or he can start his own podcast, whatever it may be, and he can tell his side, and we get to see his side, and we get to understand his point on why this happened or this and the third. So I feel like that's the difference now. Like back then, we just seen a clip like that with LeBron and stuff, Stephen A. Smith. Back then, that's all we would have seen, and then it would have went in a whole, like, well, not ESPN, actually, I should say, could have swayed and project, not, or display something differently than what we seen. Like, he could have been like, it could have put out a narrative. See what I'm saying? Like way back in the day where we wouldn't even knew. That's all we knew. But now, because you got different social medias, I mean, what ways on social media, different shit, to where a lot more shit gonna come out too. We don't know what exactly was said. We don't know, but more and more will come out. And now, you see, now you can't just get away with. Back in the day, you just say stuff like Stephen A. Smith saying stuff and people saying stuff, and you just get away with it, and then that's it. That's the difference right now. Like, social media, understand, like, back then you used to be able to say stuff on ESPN and First Take and all this, and well, all those like the media major platforms, and you can get away with it because, like, I mean, you behind the screen, you behind the TV. You know what I'm saying? Same way a lot of people get away with it now on social media. They get away with it, because they behind a screen on the phone. But at the same time, it's different because now it's more in just you saying something and can view it and can have an opinion on it. It's hundred thousands of other people. Everybody seen it. Now we can all comment on it. Now it's different. That's why you got to be basically careful what you say now on social media. You got to be careful what you do and all that and everything. And too, like I said, I just think Brian was fed up over it. He was fed up over the fact that y'all just keep talking about my son, which that's a part of it. I get it, because media, that's what they gonna do. It's been like that forever. Media always gonna attack, and they always going to, you know, um, put out that narrative and always be on a always on their perspective on this is what it is. Like this is our perspective. They always gonna put it out there. They always gonna try to bash players. They always gonna try to get the negatives out of a player. They're never going to um like they give people flowers stuff like that, but it's always gonna be more about the negative. That's what the media. It's always been that way, just like the news. Every time you turn on the news, it's always something bad. It's never nothing good. Like you might see little good things they celebrate here and there, but most of the time it's always something bad. Someone did this, someone did that, someone died, this, that. It's always gonna be negativity because that's just how the media works. It's always gonna be negative. And you gotta know that, what I'm saying, just know what you're dealing with. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Brian been through it all. You gotta think Brian been in the league for how long? He been through it all. He been through. Brian seen everything. Brian damn near seen everything that you could think of and see coming from a basketball player or just a person like a celebrity or just a person in general. Like what I'm saying. But my thing is with his son, that was different because this is something we never seen before. This never been done, and this is something that we all knew Bronny was gonna make it to the league. Most of us, but a lot of us believe that he don't belong. And then Brian got him in there. Obviously, obviously Bronny is there because of Brian, which I don't feel like none of that's a problem. I don't think that's the issue. I don't think none of that's the issue in my opinion. I feel like all that's cool, but I just feel like a lot of people wasn't too fond about that. And Stephen A. Smith, he definitely. I ain't never really hear Stephen A. Smith really hate on Bronny though. That's one thing I will say. I never really hear Stephen A. Smith hate on Bronny or hate on the fact that he in the league. He just talked about it and heightened it. And I think that's what Brown was more concerning about is that you might not be talking about him, but you still bringing it up, the conversation. You putting out stuff that people can comment on. You giving it an idea to me when you say stuff like that, and people coming at them and stuff like that. I feel like your platform and your voice, you should be more of applauding, more of nothing negative to say, hey man, it's good to see Bronny. That's what Brian want. But the thing is, Brian got to understand, man, we dealing in like I said, media always been that way. And even with social media now, like just in general, it's always gonna be negative. It's never gonna be positive. It's never gonna be um it's just never gonna be that way. It's never gonna be, no matter what, bro. It's always gonna be negativity coming towards you when you in that light. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. That's how the world works. That's how the world is, and you just gotta know it. And you just gotta I feel like LeBron has definitely handled the media pretty good in his whole career when it comes to the whole thing. I mean, Brian definitely do be on some shit sometimes too. Ain't nobody perfect. We all got our ways, but I just feel like overall, I feel like he made it through it, because it's a lot. I can imagine. Like I always tell people, you gotta understand, put yourself in like LeBron shoes or celebrity shoes, nigga, with the shit they go through. That shit ain't real. Like you don't have no privacy. Like you gotta think it's just nothing. Like it's everything is heightened. Everything you do, like you just gotta understand. Like we don't live like that as normal people. Like if I do something, only thing gonna be embarrassing to me is my family. Like my family, my kids, and people who do know me and stuff like that in the city. But ain't nobody worldwide gonna give a fuck and know about what the fuck I did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how you gotta look at it from that perspective. Like Brian probably got tired of that shit. Like, no what, man, y'all keep running your mouth on here. And I think he got tired about that goat shit too. Like we talk about the goat. You keep saying I ain't the goat, I ain't even close and all that and everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure he a human being. That shit get to you too. Motherfuckers keep saying that you you ain't even close. And all the shit that he accomplished and all the things that Brian doing and everything that he has done in his career. It's definitely worth the conversation. And it's kind of crazy because like people just like Stephen A. and them, they old school. They gonna roll with Jordan. They feel it's a certain way. They feel like this how it's supposed to be in a way. This is how it's supposed to be. But shit changed, man. Life changed. Society changes. Like it's all it's that's evolution. I mean that's evolving. That's evolution, right? Things change. And you gotta adjust. You gotta accept it. You gotta understand this is what it is now. And I think a lot of these old head niggas, which I'm a whole head nigga now too. But it's just the fact that I can understand both sides. I get it, you know what I'm saying? Because right now it's more scrutiny than ever. Like I don't care what anybody say. Like that now, as far as I'm talking about in the public, it's way more harder to try to keep a clean image, to try to be on your 1-2 and try to stay out the way is way harder than it is back then. Back then it was so simple. All I had to do is just really stay out the way and don't stay off social media. We ain't had social media back then, so to stay out the way, stay out the street, stay out the way, do what you do, and then you ain't got to worry about, you know what I'm saying, people really, knowing your business and shit. But like now it's like everything is out there, just like that little clip of him and Steve ain't going at it. It went viral, man. Everybody talking about it. So it's like that's the media. That's where we at. And you know that's how I feel like LeBron, he got to know, like that's how it's gonna be. And Stephen A ain't gonna stop. As long as he still got a microphone and a platform, he gonna continue to keep on talking on social media about whatever he feel. And that's just what it is, man. To me, it's just all about going out and proving now. If hey, Bronny in the league, he got to do what he got to do. That's just what it come down to now. He got to get better, and he got to do what he got to do, and he got to shut these niggas up. That's what it is. You just got to shut them up. Media gonna talk. Media gonna do what they do. You just got to shut them up. I feel like Bron did it. He shut them up. You know what I'm saying? So, and they still gonna keep talking even when you shut them up, because no matter what, it's always gonna, like, again, this is gonna be negativity. It's never gonna be 100% right. Unless you Michael Jordan. If you Michael Jordan, you God. You know what I'm saying? You Jesus Christ. God, you do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? In the eyes of a lot of people. But that, I mean, like I said, Jordan's the standard. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to be. It's gonna be hard to meet that standard. I already talked about this before, but I just wanted to share my comment, or my view, I should say, on my perspective on it. You know what I'm saying? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, man. Hope all y'all having a blessed day, man. Hope y'all having a great day, great Friday, man. It's a nice okay day here in the city of Akron where I'm at, man. And everybody have a blessed day, man. Tea time out, North Pole for life, baby. Let's go.